everybody. Hey everybody. Happy Thursday. Hey, happy Thursday. Thanks for always checking me out. I appreciate that. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you now, as per usual, having some technical difficulties. That's why I'm a little late. So hopefully some of you guys will come back and get the replay. I know this might be lunch hour for some of you guys, and you only have a few more minutes. So for those who have checked in, thanks for checking in. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So YouTube, I can see my chat there. So if you guys haven't already, find me on YouTube, Fellow Red PLLC. You can find me there. I'm also on Facebook, Fellow Red PLLC. And today I'm streaming. There we go. And today I'm streaming from my personal page, and I'll send it over to my business page soon. So, sorry. There we go. All right. So happy Thursday to everybody. Please share. Let's see. Let me change the setting on my Facebook video. Instagram, you can share it anytime. And like I said, on Facebook, you can share there as well. So let's forget to edit my audience on Facebook. Make that public. Hey, Dee. Thanks for checking in. And I got started a little late today, as per usual. Technical difficulties. So, all right, Facebook is now public, so you can share. So please do share. Please do share. You can't. Oh, you can hear me. Thank you. Thanks, Ebony. I appreciate that. I just now was able to. There, I can see my chat now. Wonderful. Yay. Thanks for checking in and chiming in, Ebony. I appreciate it. I'm glad you can hear me now. Happy Thursday. It's Thoughtful Thursday. Reflect with me. I've been doing this for just about 2 months now. So I'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, please do share. I did make it public on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. So I've been intentionally trying to focus on topics that I think are really important for people of color. So I have the information in my caption, and I'll add it to Instagram afterwards. But in case you do need help or support, more than just, a live video, if you need something more than therapy, I cannot, and I am not providing therapy here. But if you feel like I think I might need to speak to someone like right now, you can contact the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They have a helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI, and I haven't looked at those letters yet. Or you can text NAMI, N-A-M-I, to 741-741. There's also a National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. And like I said, I'll put that in my caption if it's not already there. So Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. I'd like to start each video with a reminder of the difference between mental health and mental illness, because it's really important to know the difference between the two. All of us have mental health. All of us do not have a mental illness. So mental health simply means the ability to adapt to change and cope with adversity. It's about living and coping well despite problems. So that's our mental health. Those are our emotions, our thoughts, the way we communicate, the way we learn, our resilience, and our self-esteem. And so that's our mental health. So, if you think about your physical health, you have to maintain different things like eating well and taking care of yourself, sleep, exercising, things like that. And those things affect different areas of your life. Well, the same thing with mental health. Learning how to cope well with adversity when change happens, when things don't go your way. Sometimes just because you don't know how to cope with things doesn't necessarily mean that you have a mental illness. It just means you were never taught. And so you might just need some help and support with that. And so being able to learn how to manage that and work through that well. Now, mental illness. Mental illness refers to collectively to all diagnosable mental disorders, health conditions involving significant changes in thinking, emotion, and or behavior. Distress and or problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. So there's no health without mental health. So I have to read from my notes because I tend to forget things. So please comment and let me know if you have any questions. If you have any questions about what I'm saying, or if you agree, or hey, I never knew that before. Thanks for sharing. I like to, because I can't see you, I like to kind of hear, what's going on with you. So please feel free to use the chat to do that. So hopefully that gives you a good understanding of the difference between mental health and mental illness. So those, they work together, right? If you don't take care of yourself well, if you don't maintain good mental health, it can lead to a mental illness, just like physical. If you don't maintain your physical health, you could have a serious physical illness. It's not different. The only problem is that it's hard for us to recognize mental illnesses or mental health problems because they're not something that we can see. All we see are the behaviors that are a result of what's going on inside. So, let's see. So again, I don't want to forget the things that I feel like are important to share today. All right, so today I wanted to talk about mindfulness. Why am I talking about mindfulness? Well, what is mindfulness? Let's start there. So mindfulness is the quality, so I'm not turning so far away from you guys. Mindfulness is the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. That is a simple, basic understanding of what mindfulness is, right? It's not anything kooky. It's not anything scary. That's mindfulness. The quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. right? Now, if we take it to the therapeutic level, another definition is the mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment. Focusing on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and body sensations. Right? So that takes it to a whole nother level. But it's still essentially the same thing. It's being aware. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. It's about being aware, right? It's a simple. I'm not saying easy. There's a difference between simple and easy. I know I'm a word person. If you knew my pastor, you would know why. But also as a therapist, I'm a word person. Hey, Mama, thanks for checking in. I'm a word person, so words are important because there's a Webster definition of a word, but there's also a personal experience and understanding of a word. And so we have to be clear about what we mean. And that's a communication thing. I'll deal with that in another live. But we have to be clear about what we're saying because everyone is going to receive it in a different way. So, mindfulness is paying attention. It's being aware of what's going on right now. So now we can talk about why is that important? Why am I talking about mindfulness? It's a simple thing to do, simple exercise, something that you can incorporate in your life every day. But it's not necessarily easy. And that's why I think it's important for me to share today in July during Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Because my experience as a woman of color, and I can't speak for all people of color, but my experience personally, as well as what I've seen from family and friends, is that we have a hard time slowing down for various reasons. It could be this unspoken expectation that I have to be the best at everything that I do, and being the best at everything that I do means not sleeping. It means not taking care of myself. It means putting myself last so that I can take care of everyone else. It might be my faith. You know, my faith tells me to put everybody first, right? And so I need to be last. I have to be put on the back burner. And so that might prevent me from being aware. Hey, Leandra, thanks for joining. That might prevent me from being aware of what's going on for myself right now. What else might be getting in the way of mindfulness for possibly people of color? It could be culture. You know, that's what you were raised to do. It could even be gender, right? You know, women tend to be, not always, I'm not doing absolutes here, but women tend to be trained to be the nurturers, to be the caretaker of the children and the family and the home. And all of that typically needs to be taken care of before the woman herself, the superwoman or the supermom mentality, right? So those type of things prevent us from being mindful. Mindfulness is important because if we continue to ignore what's going on for us right here and now, it can lead to poor mental health. And like I said before, poor mental health can lead to a possible mental illness. Not always. It's not something to be afraid of, but it's something to be aware of. I'm going to say it again. Mental health is very similar. It's the same thing as physical health. If I do not take care of my physical health, if I don't exercise, if I don't eat well, if I don't take care of my body, that could lead to different mental, physical illnesses, right? It could possibly lead to diabetes, it could lead to high blood pressure, it could lead to all of these different things. And so that's not anything to scare you. It's for you to be aware. If I'm not going to slow down and be aware of what's going on in my body, what I'm ingesting in my body, or what's going on in my mind, what's going on in my emotions, what I'm ingesting in my mind, right? Whatever things that I'm watching, what am I involved in? If I'm not paying attention to those things and how they affect me, it can create issues for me. And then you're going to wake up 5-10 years later and wonder, how did I get here, right? I don't seem to have friends, or I seem to get fired from all of my jobs, or my relationships, my romantic relationships don't always work out and I've always blamed the other person, but now I'm starting to see that I'm the common denominator. Right? It doesn't mean that you are the only reason for what might be going on, but you have to start looking at yourself and have to slow down and be mindful. This is when mindfulness is important, because your behaviors are there's a direct correlation between your behaviors and what you think or believe. So I give this simple equation, I guess, formula to help people understand how we operate. So what we think, what we believe about ourselves, about the world around us, that's the seed, right? That's where everything starts, is here. What we think or believe about anything is going to dictate how we then feel about anything. And how we feel is then going to dictate how we behave. So you probably heard, people, you may say, I've forgiven that person and I'm done and I'm over it or whatever. But body language, first of all, as a behavior, says, I don't think that's true. There's a few remnant of people that are just kind of dramatic in their hand gestures and in their body reactions, but 9 times out of 10, your body is going to tell on you, right? Usually it's going to be your face, right? Oh yeah, I forgive him. I'm over that. Okay. So I'm trained to look at body language. Now I'm going to ask questions and not automatically going to assume, but that is going to key me into there might be something else going on there, because we store things in our body physically. We actually store things. You can store sadness, anger, disappointment, shame. All of those things can be stored in your body. So if we're not mindful of different things, those things can get stuck in there and it's going to show up. Everything always comes to the light. Always. It's always going to come to the light. You can try to bury it. You can try to stuff it. You can put it under the rug. You can paint the elephant that's in the room so that it matches the walls. It's going to eventually come to light. The paint's going to fade. It's going to chip. The rug is going to get too small for the things that you've been stuffing under it, right? So eventually your body is going to show it. Your face is going to show it. Hey, thanks for checking in. It's going to be seen. It's going to come to light. So mindfulness is important because it's going to help us to be healthier individuals. When we're more aware, it's better for us to be able to say, I know that I'm stressed about this. I know that I'm feeling sad or depressed about this thing. I know that this thing is a trigger for me, right? Because then I can change behaviors or I can change different things. So let me get into the reflection questions for today. So the question for today, we're dealing with mindfulness, is how do I feel about myself right now? So let's see. How do I feel? Hey, baby. How do I feel about myself right now? That's a reflection question for today. Let's see. Y'all let me know if you can see me. Just give me a thumbs up. Instagram, I think you're good, but I don't know if Facebook is up and running well. So Facebook, let me know. Give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can see me and hear me clearly. If you're having any issues, just let me know in the chat. I can now see it. Okay. So the question is, how do I feel about myself right now? Right, and I like to be a little transparent. From time to time, I'll be vulnerable. And again, I can talk about the difference between the two. But you can always look up the words to see the difference. But I try to have a little transparency with you guys to help you to do the same thing with yourselves. Thanks, Steve. So how do you feel about yourself today? For me, unfortunately, it tends to be, thanks, let me know that. It tends to have a negative feel to it. I tend to have a negative perception. I'm having a hard time speaking today. A negative perspective of myself. There we go. So for me, that is a daily challenge. I have to fight those negative thoughts and those negative emotions on a regular basis. And I believe that that's one of the reasons that I'm able to help other people, because I realize that, right? And that doesn't mean that I don't pray, doesn't mean that I don't love Jesus, it means that I'm a human. It means I'm a human, right? There's evidence in the Bible of, well, I can't remember his name, but he had a thorn in his flesh, right? Some people have thorns. Some people have situations that they need to work through more diligently, right? And then there are some issues that you can pray and it'll be taken away. But that's not every situation. You can't pray away depression all the time. You can't pray away anxiety all the time. There are going to be moments when you can do that. When it's not as severe, when it's, it's a small trigger or a simple trigger that you can kind of work through. But there are going to be things where you're going to have to do more. I'm not going to say don't pray. Of course, I'm a woman of faith. Pray. Absolutely. You should always pray. You should always ask for God to help you to take it away. But you also have to be aware that things may take time, that things may take you being more aware, right? There are some things that God is wanting you to be more aware of, because he's fully aware of everything, right? Like he can come in, he can bust open the door, and he can wreck shop. He can do a whole deep clean of the whole house. But what does that do for us, right? I haven't done any of the work, right? I don't even know what half of the issues were because I wasn't even mindful of them. So what does that mean? That means after he did all that work, he done did a deep clean, pulled out toothbrushes, soap. He done Lysol the whole house, sanitized it, COVID-proofed it, right? And you're like, oh, I'm a good person. I feel better, right? And then guess what? Couple months later, you're back where you started. Why? Does it mean that you're not a person of faith? Does it mean that you don't believe? Does it mean that you didn't pray hard enough? No, not at all. In that situation, what it means is that you weren't even aware of what was cleaned up for you. And if you're not aware, how can you keep it from coming back? Right? I think a lot of us want God to do the work, clean the house, and why don't you just keep coming back every day? Right? Just come back every day. Just keep cleaning for me. I don't want to have to deal with it. But he's a dad. He's a really good dad at that. And he wants us to mature. He wants us to be better people, and he wants us to be healthy. So I talked a little bit more about God and faith today. If that offends you, I can't apologize necessarily for that. It's not my intention to offend you, but you don't have to follow me if that's offensive to you, because I am a woman of faith and I will talk about it from time to time, because it's really important to me. So, I do fight with negative thoughts and emotions on a regular basis. So the question today is, how do I feel about myself right now? It tends to be negative, right? And I have to fight that every day with what's true. I fight that with scripture. I fight that with prayer. I fight that with, paying attention to what are the triggers, right? So the first question is, how do I feel about myself right now? For me, it tends to be negative, right? So a follow-up question for that are, what things in my life cause me to feel this way? So essentially what I'm asking you to think about are, what are the triggers? What are the things that tend to trigger these negative thoughts and emotions to come up? This is mindfulness, is being aware. Being aware of what sets you off, right? You might be having a great day, right? You might be doing well. You might be feeling real confident about yourself, right? You're like, my makeup's on fleek, my hair looks good, I look a little slim, and then something happens, and then all of a sudden, how you feel about yourself has changed. So you need to start asking yourself, what are the things in your life that cause you to feel this way? For me, it can be my abilities. I may not feel confident in my ability to do something. It could be my to-do list. My to-do list tends to bring up negative emotions for me, because my to-do list, like most people, like most moms, most women, right? The to-do list never ends. It never ends. You can go through and do 10 things in a day, and it's just not enough. And so my to-do list tends to bring up that negative feeling for me because I want to accomplish something. I want to get to the bottom of the list. I want the list to go away, but it doesn't. It never will. And that's the acceptance piece that I continually work through. Is my to-do list is never going to go away. And so every day I have to be mindful. I have to ask myself, what's the most important for me today, for my mental health, right? For my physical health. What's most important for me today? I have all these things on my to-do list. Which of these things are most important? Like, I have to get this done today. I focus on that. And then I have to go back and ask myself, do I have the capacity, not the ability, do I have the capacity to do the rest of these things or not? Did I get enough sleep last night? Right? Do I feel like I've spent enough time with my family or with my son? I mean, he's 2, right? He's growing up. He's already 15. I mean, when did that happen? Just side note, it kind of hit me a little bit today. I'm a mama, I'm sorry. But it kind of hit me a little bit today. When they start talking and they say, bye-bye, bye-bye. Well, guess what? Now it's bye. Bye. When did you grow up? I digress. What other things that may cause me to feel negative? Sometimes it's people. Sometimes it's certain individuals that are just never positive. They're always pointing out negative things, whether it's for me or around me or in other people. And that can, yay, Robin made it. That can create negative thoughts and emotions for me and probably for other people, right? Is that, certain people that tend to only focus on the negative. And for me, that's more detrimental for me. And some of you may feel the same way because I'm already, like I said, I already have this negative theme in my head, in my mind, in my emotions. It's already there. I'm already questioning everything that I do, literally. I question everything that I do. I'm already picking out all of the negatives. I'm already picking out, okay, what if someone sees this? What are they going to think about that? And then I have to ground myself, remind myself it doesn't matter, right? I focus on the things that matter, right? I focus on the things that matter. I'm not going to get up here and look dirty, right? I'll make sure I'm washed. I took care of myself and that I look decent, right? But I'm not going to be like, I got to put on all this makeup and if y'all know me, this is all you're going to get. I do my eyebrows and I do my eyeliner. That's typically all I do. There are special occasions that I'll do a little bit more. But I'm not going to get on here and put on a whole face makeup and lipstick and foundation and all that kind of stuff. That's not typically me. And the whole point of this is to reflect, is to get to the core of who you are. So how can I do that? By putting on a mask. For me, that would be a mask to make other people happy. Maybe more people will watch. Maybe more people will like if I doll myself up a little bit. I ain't doing it. No. So there are certain people where if they tend to be very negative, that's just not a good thing for me because I'm already thinking about those things. I'll never say them unless you're close with me, unless you know me well. I trust you. Then if you're in my inner circle, I will let you know how I'm really feeling and might ask for prayer and things like that. But other than that, you'll never know what's going on inside unless I choose to tell you. So that's an important thing that I want you guys to recognize, is to be mindful for yourself, but also be mindful for other people. I really suggest that you really take a moment and kind of ask yourself, do I need to say what I'm about to say right now? Right? There's some things that need to be said, but is this the moment to say it? And do I have the relationship to say it? Because that's key. That's key. You can be saying something that's absolutely right? But if you don't have a relationship with that person, it's probably not going to be received well. And that's not always a bad thing, right? It's just, I don't know you, right? There's a difference between a stranger saying, hey, I can see your slip, or hey, you got something on your face. I appreciate you, right? Thank you for not letting me go out here looking stupid. But when someone has something to say about your character or things like that, um, and they barely know you, right? It's not going to be received as well. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's not going to be received as well. So if you're going to do those type of things, you need to be aware. You need to be prepared for that person to be defensive, right? And opportunity, if they, come back and reflect and check themselves, they may come back to you and say, I apologize for the way I responded. I wasn't prepared for that comment from you because I just didn't think we were on that level. I agree with that. I didn't receive it well, but I don't know you. I don't know you well enough. But I appreciate you sharing it with me. That person might come back and say something like that, or they may not say anything at all. But you want to ask yourself, first question is, how do I feel about myself today? Or during this season even. And then what things in my life cause me to feel that way? And list those triggers. And finally, what's keeping me from taking these things out of my life? So I mentioned my abilities, my to-do list, and certain people. So my abilities, the only thing I could do is continue to hone my craft and learn things, take classes and things like that to help me to feel competent and confident in the things that I do. Right? For those of you, I've talked about the Enneagram. For those of you who know about the Enneagram, I am a type 5. And so my motivation is to feel competent. So that tends to be a weakness for me. So I'm the type of person you can't ask me, hey, Desiree, can you come in and speak to my class today at, let's see, it's 1 o'clock. Can you come speak to my class today at 2:30? You're probably going to get a no. Because I need to ask, what's the class? Where's the class? Who's in the class? What is the topic? What is the goal that you want me to achieve here for you? And then I have to do my research. So, for a lot of people, they don't see that as a negative thing. But people that are like last minute, or people that are spontaneous, or those visionary type people, they're like, oh, this is a great idea. Hey, let's try to do this today. Right? They're not bad people. But I'm the wrong person to ask if that's kind of how you operate. I don't do well with that. I need to go back and research, reflect, and kind of dig into, what it is I'm going to talk about. So that's how I can work on my abilities. My to-do list, I can be more aware of my to-do list. I can be more realistic with my to-do list, that my to-do list is always going to be there. And it's okay for me to step away from it and say, I can't do that today. I've done what is necessary for today. Like, it has to get done today. Now I feel like it has to get done, but it has to get done today. I've done that. Now I want to focus more on my family, or I want to focus more on me. I want to have downtime. And then people, if there are certain people that cause you to feel very negative about yourself, about any part of yourself, what's keeping you, what's stopping you from taking them out of your life, even if it's just for a season, right? Even if it's just for a season, what's keeping you from taking them out of your life? So today is about mindfulness. These are questions that I want you guys to reflect on and really think about, because our mental health matters. Our mental health matters. You would not believe me if I gave you a number of how many clients I have seen that stay in toxic environments and toxic relationships for various reasons, right? And you might believe me if I gave you a number. I'm not. Just know that I see it a lot, right? And that is so detrimental to our mental health. If we continue to stay in toxic situations and situations that cause us to feel negative about ourselves, not to reflect on ourselves, but to feel negative. It's like emotional abuse in a way, like you're stupid, or you'll never be enough, or you look terrible. What possessed you to put that on today? Right? I don't know who told you that hairstyle was good for you, because it's not. Okay. What's keeping you from separating yourself from those people, whether it be for a season or whether it be for a lifetime? Those are the reflection questions for today. Nugget of wisdom today, or these defining moments. Today is moment by moment, step by step. Focus on today so that tomorrow doesn't trip you up. I'll say it again. Negative wisdom does equal finding moments. It's moment by moment, step by step. Focus on today so tomorrow doesn't trip you up. Thank you guys for watching today, whether you watched live or the rebroadcast. Let me know. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me at info@fellow.red.com. You can comment in the comment section as well, but also please share. I made the video public, so please share. Please invite other people to get this information. July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just want to be able to share information with my community. So please do that. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram under Fellow Red, PLLC. Thank you. You can find me on those, so please subscribe, please like, please follow, and please share. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for putting that in there for me. I appreciate all of you guys. If you ever want to give a donation, you can, but that's totally your choice. And if you ever want to maybe look at some of the things that I offer, you can find my website at fellowred.com. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful day. I love you all. Happy Thursday. You enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, and I'll see you again next Thursday. If you have any questions or if you have any things that you want me to discuss on Thursdays, please let me know. Also, Thursday is T-shirt Thursday. So this is my shirt for today. It's from my older brother, Will. Worship is life. He is a musician, a really good musician. And so I'm wearing that today. I like to wear T-shirts with a message on them. My friend and my old coworker, Keisha Barnes, she started it at my job at Restoration Place. And we've been trying to keep it alive, so I'm still doing it. So I like to wear a shirt with a message on it. And so I can share that with my clients and they ask questions, or sometimes it might apply to what's going on in the session or that day. So I really like it. I'm glad that hey, Lisa, I'm really glad that she kind of started it. So I'm just, keeping it alive. So feel free to join in on that. My older sister, Robin, she has T-shirts as well. She's got a love movement going on. So check her out, lunchwithrobin.com. You can also find her on Wednesday. She goes live on Wednesdays. So she's got some T-shirts. But if you have a T-shirt that has a positive message on it, please let me know. I would love to support and share your T-shirt on Thursdays when I share my Reflect With Me series. So please feel free to just either DM me or email me at info@fellowred.com. Yeah, and that's it. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy Thursday, and continue to do the work to be a better you. My motto is better you, better us. Y'all have a great day.